Alright, today we're going to talk about equations. Okay, this is an equation here, 2q plus 5 equals 13. What they ask us to do is define the solution of this, meaning what number for q makes this a true statement. So what can I plug q into? Because q only has one answer that makes this correct. And what they do is they tell us this replacement set, and it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what I do is I plug in 2 and see if it makes a true statement. If it is, then 2 is my answer. If not, then I go 3. And we do that until we find our answer. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, so that does not equal 13, so 2 is out. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. It's out. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. There's my answer. So Q is equal to 4. That's the solution. I don't need to do 5 or 6 if I know that 4 is the answer, if I did it right. I could check, but once you use 5, you know 6 can't be it because it's already too big. Any questions how to do that?
For the answer, we just write down 4 then? Oh.
Alright, so here's the next one. 8m minus 7 equals 17. Here's a solution set. 0, 1, 2, 3. They want you to make a table. Plug in 0, 1, 2, and 3. And work it out and see if it becomes true or false. No, I'm not going to make you do this. I'm showing you how they do it. Okay? So, I plug in 0. 0 times 8 is 0. Which 0 minus 7 is not negative 17, so that's false. Plug in 1. 8 minus 7 is 1. That should be down there. So, definitely not 17. Plug in 2. 16 minus 7 is 9. So, that's false. And then 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 7 is 17. So that's just the true statement. So 17. So not 17. Sorry. So 3 is my solution. M is equal to 3. Any questions? All right. What they also might do is give you this. So write this down. All right. They'll give you this. They may not give you a replacement set. They'll just say solve, which is what they do here. So we use order of operations, we use our properties, we solve it. First thing I would do is find out what 4 squared is. 16. What's 16 minus 10? 6. So I've got 7 minus 6 plus n is equal to 10. So what's 7 minus 6? 1. So now that I have it simplified, I can figure out what n is. Okay, what is n? Without you having to do anything, it's definitely 9, because 1 plus 9 is 10. Here's how we solve it, and please pay attention. You're going to do this the rest of the year. I know this is a really simple problem, but this gives you a basis for how to do it the rest of the year. What I do is I look at what's being done to n, what is being done to n, adding 1, and I do the opposite. Since I was adding 1, I subtract 1. That would cancel that out, because that's what I want 0. Remember, one of our properties was the additive identity. You add 0. That's what I want. I want 0 there. So I subtract 1 from both sides. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I do to the other. What's 10 minus 1?
9.
So n is equal to 9. Any questions?
No.
Easy enough. Write this down. Alright, now I've separated this in halves. I'm going to work one side. I'm going to work the left side first, then I'll work the right side. I do that to keep them separate so I don't confuse anything, I don't mess anything up. Over here, the first thing I would do is multiply it, because I'm inside parentheses. You multiply before you subtract. So 10 minus 8 is 2. I've got 2 times 3h plus 6. How do I solve that? What do I do there? What did we learn yesterday? Distribute. So I take 2 times 3h and 2 times 6. That gives me 6h plus 12. There's nothing else I can do, so now I go to the right side. I've got 2h plus h. I can combine those like terms and get 3h. I can't add 3h and 6. So instead what I do is I distribute. That gives me 6h plus 12. Now, once I see this, I see something I have in common. What do I have in common about both sides? They're the same thing. Alright? If I wanted to move 12 from one side to the other, what I end up doing is I end up canceling itself out. And I have 6h equals 6h. Is this a true statement?
Yes.
Okay, what that means is that h can be any number. Any real number. So when it looks like this, it doesn't matter what I substitute for h, because I'm always going to get the same thing on both sides, right? When we have that, okay, that means it could be any number. Okay, I want to say the book says all real numbers, because it doesn't matter what I put in for h, it's still going to be the same thing. Any questions? All right, so let's solve it. 12 minus 2, or 12 plus 2 is 14. I've got 4n minus 14 over here. Distribute the n out. I got 6n minus 2n minus 9. 6n minus 2n is 4n. So I've got 4n minus 9 over here. I got 4n minus 14 over here. So are these ever going to be equal? No. Because if I move one of these, right, I could do this right here. I can add 14 to both sides. That's going to give me 4n over here and 4n plus 5 on this side. So no matter what I times n by, well, no matter what n is, it's never going to be equal to each other, right? Because if I plugged in 1 here, I've got to plug in 1 here. Well, here I've got 4. Over here I've got 6. Or 9, excuse me. Is that the same thing? No. So here's what we write for that. It's no solution. They also use this symbol. I'm going to show you what the symbol is. It means no solution, or it also means empty set, and it's just a 0 with a line through it. They're going to use that a lot later on. That's why I'm showing it to you. I don't think they use it in the book right now. But it means there's no number that n can be substituted for and still make this true. All right? Any questions? All right, write this down. All right, so here they give us an equation, and we're told to solve for c. Okay, so what I do is I plug in which they give you a big long spiel about this, and say it's talking about a guy that pays money for movies and that kind of deal. We replace m with 3 to solve for c. So 1.5 times 3 plus 10. What's 1.5 times 3? You guys know? 4.5. 4.5. I add that to 10. C gives me 14.5. Alright. And that's all I got to do. Now I can figure out how much that guy spends on movie rentals in a month. Any questions? Alright, here's your homework assignment.